Kiffness, and welcome to another video. My name is Tasha, aka Miss Kiff, and if this is your first time on my channel, welcome and happy New Year's. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Happy New Year to you. I hope that this year is going to be filled with so much love and abundance, and you're just going to prosper wherever you turn. So I thought I'd do a video to reflect on 2021 and just really share with you what I really want for 2022, what I would like to attract. So if this is your first time here, please do subscribe. Okay, so firstly, the most biggest thing I need to say is thank you to every one of you for watching my videos, for subscribing to my channel, for allowing me to live my dream and my passion for YouTube. YouTube has been such a long goal of mine, long-term goal. And it's been really hard for me to figure out, who I am, what I want to bring to the channel, to define myself was the most difficult, because YouTube favors creativity and it really favors community, and at times I second guess myself. So the fact that I've got here right now has just confirmed and allowed me to just be here right now. And I didn't want to rush it. I knew it was going to be a journey, and this is what it is a journey. So 2021 was very much a year for me where it already felt like I'm coming into a new transition, because I actually turned 30 this year, or last year. Now we're in 2022. I turned 30, and I feel like when you turn 30, you have this massive reflection. It's like a check-in of life. Like, okay, you're not really young enough to be as naughty as you used to be, and you're not really old enough to take life too seriously. So you're kind of like in this middle of like, okay, why did I learn from my 20s that I can transition to my 30s? It's like this next decade, you reflect on like, okay, what have I done over the last decade, and how am I gonna do it even better for the next decade? And I just feel like this whole last year was that transition, and it came with a lot of challenges. 2021 was an extremely challenging year. So I want to just quickly, let's just focus on the challenges and then quickly move on to the positives, because I don't want to dwell on any negatives. 2021, I stepped into the year of me starting over and really discovering where am I going with my career. There was a lot of monetary challenges because I lost my job in 2020, and as well my mum had a heart attack in 2020 November, and that was challenging because I couldn't see her as often as I wanted to in South Africa because of money. I also tried my best to get work in South Africa, meaning teaching yoga, which it didn't pick up as well as I wanted it to because of COVID. And then there was the challenge of being in a relationship that wasn't really serving me, and trying to figure out myself whilst trying to figure out the relationship. That was the most, I would say, challenging in the beginning of the year. But also, my relationship with myself was challenging. Like, I feel like I was fighting, or I was slipping into self-sabotaging modes, especially after my 30th birthday, like up to April, May time. April, May was like challenging. And then June, I felt myself going back into like a depression. And then July, I got awakened by my intuition, because I was trying to balance, should I stay in South Africa? Should I leave overseas? Overseas was scaring me because I didn't want to fall back into this toxic energy, and staying was scaring me because I couldn't see myself being there long term. And then I had a moment, a pinnacle moment, and then I realized that you can't help anybody until you've helped yourself. So I decided to leave. And that was the first time I realized that everybody's responsible for their own lives and I'm responsible for my life. So therefore, if I choose to put myself first, I'm not being selfish. I'm just living to my true self. And at the end of the day, even if I sacrifice my life for somebody, I'm the one who's going to be sacrificing my well-being. And it made me question my worth, to be honest, at the time. So that was kind of the sum up of 2021 in terms of challenging. And obviously finance was a big thing, you know, it really was the most challenging. But let's look at the positives, okay? So I've just written a little list, as you've seen. So the first one is I turned 30. Turning 30 is the best, okay? I love being 30. I never want to go back to my 20s. 30 is where it's at. I'm flirty. I'm flirty and I'm 30 and I'm thriving. I just feel like myself, to be honest. I spent 1 year in South Africa. I thought, you know, I've never been an adult in South Africa, and it was great to be there. I would have liked a bit more financially, but I made it work because I grew up by the ocean, so I went back to the ocean. I was at the beach every day, well, not every day, every week. I used to go for walks every morning. I used to just be by the mountains. Just the energy was just, for me, perfect. Like, I love South Africa for that. The seafood, it was just great. I chose to be single. I feel like that's a positive because my relationship was already struggling when I entered 2021. And I felt like it wasn't what I wanted. Like, it's definitely like I like, for me, my thing is I will not be in a relationship if it's not meant to be. Like, I'm happy to walk away and say no and, you know, be a bit sad and all that things, but I'm happy to walk away if it's not serving both of us. If I could see it's draining us, if I can see that it's not serving, I will have that conversation. But also, I feel like in relationships, there's patterns and there's behavioral patterns, especially behavioral patterns. And if I'm someone who I've got so much understanding, but if I see that repeating, then I really can't. I don't see it ever not happening in the future, because that is one of the things that I love about recognizing myself and my self-worth, is that I put my self-worth in front of everything. Like, no matter what relationship it is, my self-worth always comes first. And obviously from that, taking that decision to become single, it gave me the opportunity to date myself. And dating myself has been amazing. Oh my goodness. Like, I feel like I've stepped into 2022 being more myself than I've ever been in my life. Like, you know, when you are spending all the time by yourself with no distractions, but just yourself, it really just gets you into that, like, you have to date yourself. You have to look at what behavioral patterns you went through and what you want to change about yourself, right? Because I'm not perfect, right? And I have not been perfect. I've changed over the course of these last 12 years of life. And dating myself was one of the most profound moments, because it's just a journey, you know? When you date yourself, you just have this magical experience. I feel like I'm still dating myself, but we'll get into 2022 in a second. Then I monetized on YouTube. This was a big one for me. Oh my goodness. So in September, I monetized on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, this is me, getting on it now, okay? 2022 is gonna be more consistency, okay? I'm so sorry. Just that whole reflection period of 2021 really just took a way left turn. So yeah, I'm very grateful to all of you for allowing me to have this opportunity. And this was another decision why I decided to move from South Africa to the UK, specifically, like obviously Wales, but the UK in general, is it's better for me to have this content creator lifestyle being in overseas, because the money's higher and the opportunities are more. Then towards the end of my trip in South Africa, I found my passion for hiking. Now, I was immediately invited into hiking groups in South Africa, but I don't know why, but I was always a little bit apprehensive of, like, I self-doubted myself and my ability and my strength. But I've got muscle memory. I've always been fit. Like, in my 20s, I would say from 21-ish to about like 28, 29, I've always been fit, because I consciously made this decision to become fitter and healthier and all of that jazz. And I forget my ability and my strength. So to find hiking, it was it's amazing. It's just amazing. And I went on my first solo hike in South Africa, and that's huge, because solo hiking is a fear thing, yeah. And I decided to test boundaries, to really enjoy being alone, I also accomplished studying a master's, which is just like, what? Like, I am studying a master's. This is just crazy. Like, 18-year-old Tasha would be buzzing for me right now, like buzzing. I've always wanted to have a degree. And even achieving my degree in 2020 was huge for me. The fact that I went on to now studying a master's is even more huge, because it almost gives a little bit more opportunity, where 18-year-old Tasha's dream was always to have a PhD. So we'll keep it open and see if that will be in the cards. Another big achievement was reconnecting with family. Like, I was stuck in this childhood mentality for so long, and it's because I came here at 18 with a chip on my shoulder. I ran away, and now I'm like, I went back. I was like, what am I doing keeping on to all this baggage? It's so unnecessary. So I got to rekindle and actually build a relationship with my stepmother, and also my dad. And then, like, I didn't have to rekindle, I just had to let go with my dad, because I was still being a 16-year-old girl, and it was just, not serving at times, And I also got to have perspective about their lifestyle and what they went through. So South Africa totally humbled me, like, big time. It was just like one big take a step back and really just take a step back and just, perspective, right? Bird eye view perspective. I got to have a really great relationship with my stepsister, Renee, shout out to you, and Aiden, of course. I got to be wedding photographer for Kiff, my other stepsister, and yeah, just really being connected to, be surrounded by love, I think it's more of, I actually I'm a very lovable person, and I really love to love. But when love comes into my life, true love, I sometimes am too scared of it, and I self-sabotage it, because I'm almost step into a default of, oh, this love is too good to be true, something will go wrong. And that's like obviously a limiting self-talk / pattern, all the jazz you can think of. That's unfortunate. So I I really love that I was surrounded by love, because it really just set myself up for coming back here with a higher vibration. And obviously, as you know, like, may or may not know, but manifestations really, really thrive off love. And, you know, even calling them now, they were like, oh, you can always come back to South Africa if things get tough. And it's nice to, like, have a home to go to, where before I never had a home, because my parents divorced when I was young. And my mother and I got to, the journey with my mother is a very interesting one, because I got to care for my mother, and I got to use my talents and my skills that I've learned over the years to help my mum, which actually saved her life twice. So that was profound, and that was a lot to be grateful for. You know what I mean? And I moved to Wales. I'm in Wales. I'm in freaking Wales. I'm in the freaking valleys, baby. Like, do you know what? In the lockdown 2020, I was like, I've had enough of England. No offense, England, but my time has come and gone in England. You know what I mean? Like, I had my whole 20s in England. But there was just like, there's just something that wasn't connecting. And when I was in London, I was like, I've got two options. I'm either going to South Africa or going to Wales, because I've had enough of England. And that was quite cool, because now I've come back and I'm in Wales, and it's the right choice. And the reason why the valleys is so special is because the people are lovely. Also the mountains, of course, nature, and the ocean. So I also got to achieve, I got to work with this wonderful woman, Alia, and she and I hosted full moon rituals, which is just unbelievable. And I got to reconnect to my spiritual self, which my spiritual self is so important for me. So I found my spiritual self, and my spiritual self is someone who I cannot let go of. Like, whatever relationships I walk into now, you need to know that I'm very spiritual, and you have to kind of be spiritual too. Like, it has to resonate somehow. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be compassion, love, and understanding in your heart, because if there isn't, it's just never going to work. But my spiritual self is very important, and I stepped into 2022 now just all about, like, this is the balance I need. I now have my focus of where my balance should be, if that makes sense. But then another thing is I got to actually DJ my live, perform live. The music I produced in 2020, all my sound healing, I got to do this for a group of yogis in Claremont, which was amazing. And that was just such a, like, whoa. Like, I spent 2020 producing, 2021 I actually got to do it live. So it just gave a moment of, like, you can do anything, just give it time. And I hosted my first internship, my first digital marketing internship with wonderful interns in South Africa. That was very challenging. It taught me a lot, and it really helped motivate me to be better. And I learned a lot about myself. It's difficult. Managing people is difficult. Okay, so enough of 2021. I feel like I'm pretty much done with 2021, like, whatever. So I've actually written a list of manifestations of what I want for 2022. So I'm going to read them out, and we're going to put it out there in the universe, okay? So before I start, maybe you can reflect on your own 2021 and look at like, okay, yes, there was moments of challenges, but rather than looking at the moments of challenges, look at the moments of the positivities, right? There's a lot to be grateful for, and that's what I realized. And I did this because I saw Travel Beans' video, and I love how positive they were. So I just felt the need to record a very positive video. Okay, so the most important part of 2022 is I really to buy a van and convert it by June 2022. So I have started my kind of van life moment in 2020. I was binge watching it crazily. But to be honest with you, I used to travel in vans and live in vans way back with my ex. And he used to do sound systems for festivals, and I used to go with him, and we stay in the van. And you know, it's like the van was so cold, there was no heating in it and stuff, but I loved it. However, and it's crazy because I was presented of would you live in a van back then, and we wanted to do the whole Portugal thing, but it just didn't work out. And at the time, I was not in a very good space mentally, and I needed structure. So we moved into a house, and that just didn't serve us, actually, at the end of the day. We should have just stuck to the van. But nevertheless, being in a van, I was introduced in like 2013, 2012, 2013, something like that. More 2013. And I had a taste of that for like 4 years, and then I moved away to London. Coronavirus happened, so 2020 I was drawn back to that van lifestyle because I love camping, I love minimalism, I love all my things, trust me, but I like the minimal way of life where you have everything you need in a van. I love how simple that is. And I love camping. I love being outdoors. I love being adventurous. You know, even backpacking. I've done it by backpacking to festivals and exploring the cities and camping out at festivals. So it's always been a part of me. And then 2020 just solidified it, where I tested it out with Shimmer Suits. I'll put a video over here of our trip in Ireland. And then I did another one with my ex now in south of Spain. We hired a camper van for a week, and we did the south of Spain. And that was just like, I need a van. Like, I need a van. So this year, because I move a lot, I move so much, you know what I mean? Like, I have bought things, got rid of things, bought things, got rid of things, moved. And to be honest with you, I still don't know where I want to settle down. I know that I want to buy a house in Wales as an investment, but I won't be here full time. I can't be anywhere full time unless it's on the road, because I need to meet people. I need to explore. I need to spread my wings, you know. I'm young, so I still want to live. And especially with COVID happening, it just kind of made me go, I don't really want to regret my life. I just want to take this new, the true me is spontaneous. What do I want to do tomorrow? Oh, I want to go to Spain. Right, let's book a flight. By the weekend, sorted, I'm gone. Where I kind of sort of have a plan, not really, but I'm going to do it anyway and figure it out on the way. That is me, okay? And I had this when I moved here from 2009 through to 2013. I used to be super spontaneous, right? Who cares? Even during the times I tried to be spontaneous, but I feel like it clashed a lot. Like, it just didn't resonate with some people, which is whatever. Which I just felt like I should never lose that, okay? I am a very, I do a lot of stuff. And I like to keep myself busy. I get bored very easily, so I like to be on the move. Trust me, I can be lazy as F, but I just felt like I wanted to be on the move. Okay, so that was a long for number one. Number two, I would like a full-time job in digital marketing that truly uses my skills, that I'm completely happy with, an incredible team that resonate with me and treats me with respect and my expected salary. So one thing I realized is I really want to learn more, okay, within digital marketing. I would love to have a remote full-time job so that I can immerse myself with the skills that I've learned. Now, I have been hustling for about, I would say, a year and a half, and it's been nice to have that time away. But now I'm ready to immerse myself in a team. And yeah, I just want to learn a bit more about the industry by being with it. I would like to stay focused with the university and thrive and excel in every assignment that I do with time management, because I need to still understand the value of balance. I'm a bit like to put myself under a pressure cooker, which is just not good. I pay off my debts little each month, and every month that I save too. So my biggest flaw of my 20s is I didn't save. I think I started saving in 2020 was the first time I saved. And I actually saved only up to £1,000. And then I lost my job and coronavirus happened and all that rubbish, which I had to dive into all of it. But I need to explain this because, and this is one of the videos I want to do on my YouTube channel, is I never got taught. Like, I came from a very much, in South Africa, I never had much and I never asked for much. So when I came to England and I was like a kid in the candy store, I was like, London was amazing. Like, if I wanted £1,000, I could earn it in like 2 days if I wanted to, either DJing, working at a bar, cash in hand, or, you know, it's like exhausting yourself to get that extra money. So I always had money and I was doing so much. I was being flown around the world, you know what I mean? Like, I was going to DJ in the Sahara Desert. I was earning like, I think it was £600 in a night. It was just like mad. But for someone that was young, it just never sunk in to save. Even if I saved £10 a week, it would have been like, 30 or Tasha would have been way happier now. But also, along with these, there was cycles happening where I crashed and burned. So I had like 5 years of peakness, and then I crashed and I had to start over. And then it was just like surviving. And then as soon as I got to a point where I could save and actually be disciplined with money, something rapidly changed and I went back into this vicious cycle of like just not saving. And then 2020 happened and I finally decided to put money away. Every month I was putting away like £50 a month or £100 a month, something like that. And then just everything got taken away from me again. So even though I have a lot of experiences to live for my 20s, financially, I definitely have hit rock bottom too many times now for me to want, like, I really don't want it to ever happen again. So it's now that shadow period of me having to step into that power, right? And I racked up debt because I was unemployed for 6 months in London and I couldn't get a job. Like, I went for so many interviews. Like, it wasn't even like proper, like, there was office jobs, there was coffee shop jobs, there was whatever job I could get my hands on. But I was unemployed for 6 months. That was crazy. So I had to get a credit card and I suffered for it. To put food on the table, basically. I should have claimed, oh no, I couldn't claim benefits because I was in full-time education. So yeah, it's just one of those things. And also I made poor choices. Like, there's no need for me to have been in a studio flat when I could have been in a double room. So there's a lot, you know, of context with it. And there's also behavioral patterns from my parents that I have inherited You know what I mean? Which need to change. Okay, so then another point, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is I reached 10,000 subs by 2022 on Mr. Kiff. So that's so now that I've reached 1,000, I would like at the end of this year for me to reach 10,000 subs. And that number is because when you reach 10,000 subs, you can go into YouTube studios in London and actually record there for free. So I really want to push that this year, and I really want to, there's a lot with the channel that I want to create, because YouTube's now not like, I always knew YouTube's potential was huge, but it's even huger now, because whatever you want to do in life, if you said you wanted to be a talk show host, or you wanted to be a I always wanted to host my own cooking show, you know what I mean? Like all those things. Like for me, I've always wanted to do all of these things. I really wanted to be a presenter because I feel like my personality is really great. So I feel like one of my dreams is to create a TV show, like, but that's broadcasted on YouTube specifically. We'll get more into that, but yeah. Anyway, then I've got a second channel called Nourish Shanti, and I at the moment only have 40 subs on there. I've actually had one extra subscriber today. I had 39, but now I've got 40. And that's my spiritual channel. And that's got to do with my yoga teacher, because I'm a qualified yoga teacher. I do tarot card readings, I do energy card readings, share with you nourished recipes, meditations, sound healing, all that awesome things. So if you like that type of thing, look at that channel. But I kept it separate because before I wanted to, it just doesn't work with it being this channel and that channel. Otherwise it's just too many things. But that channel, I could just go super spiritual. So if you are spiritual, you can go there. And if you're not spiritual, you can still carry on watching this channel. You know what I mean? Then I also say, specifically on my manifestation list, is Miss Kiff YouTube is consistently increasing with followers that resonate with me, and a community is formed. So I want to form more of a community on this channel, and creativity and opportunity flows through me on a daily basis. That every morning I spend loving myself, that every morning I send love to myself, and every day I share love. I share that love. So I want to come from a place of love this year. Okay? And I open my heart to love. I attract the partner that resonates with my spirituality, accepts me for who I am, loves me unconditionally, that is spontaneous, full of love and integrity, that has his own independence, love, culture, travel, and dogs. So that's like, I'm opening my heart to receive this year, but I'm not in any rush. You know what I mean? Also continues, for my love partner, has healthy habits, take care of himself so much that it helps me stay inspired. We give each other equality. We are both respect each other's background and are sensitive and compassionate to each other. Our love is filled with laughter and many memories, outdoor activities, and passionate, euphoric lovemaking, of course. So that I'm putting out to the universe, because I feel like I love love, but I want to attract the right type of love, and I'm happy to wait if it's going to be longer. Then music is this is also one of the highlights of 2021, is I got to work and sound engineer from out of uni at someone's house, which is pretty cool. Shout out Dan, Amsterdam. I'll put his SoundCloud down below. But I created 2 tracks, and he did the piano loop recording on it, which is pretty cool. I have to release my album this year. But anyway, so I would like to create and produce my album, which I have 5 tracks now in the middle of each one. I play and produce my music at festivals in Europe, and my tracks is released on Abogatech for Miss Kiff Music. So Abogatech is this really amazing company that I really want to work with music, that is, especially with Miss Kiff, because my music is that type of music, I feel, and I'm keeping authentic to me. I don't want to deviate from what I want to produce at this moment, because what I produce is just really cool and it's just so me, and it's a sound that I've never heard before. So yeah, I've actually had a new track, Feminine, that's just come out soon. Well, not come out soon, but there's a track preview on my my YouTube channel. I'll put it over here, and also my SoundCloud. Okay, then I would like to produce a documentary to releasing my album. So I have to kind of work with a film producer to navigate it and see how deep are we gonna go and things like that, because there's some truths in it that it's very sacred, but basically it's just to say about my DJ career, the industry, and now me stepping into as a producer. What does that look like, and for me in my future, and also it's like struggling, you know, the personal struggles I went through in my DJ career that I wasn't really prepared for. I would like to produce 2 music videos and live set for Miss Kiff. So there is definitely 2 tracks, potentially 3, that I want to produce a music video for. Obviously, this all comes down to funding, most of us, okay? Why haven't I produced a documentary before? Why haven't I produced an album before? Why haven't I done all of that? That purely comes down to money. So I have a few friends in the UK that have their studios at the house, so I want to go spend more time with them to produce more with their synthesizers, and also to learn a bit more about music. But definitely music is a part of my soul. And also I would love to produce a music video. I feel like I've always wanted to be in one. Now that I'm writing my own music, I might as well just have fun with it, right? And I feel like there's a lot of emotion. So again, it's working. I want to work with a producer because I need to know what it takes. And then my abundance, my income is increasing constantly, because that's just my vibration this year. And attract more people and connections that are outgoing, healthy, high vibrations, habits, and intellectual. One of the things that I've noticed is that I've outgrown some of my friends in a way of, I like to party, but I don't really want that coming into this 2022. I feel like 2022 is all about getting things done, and alcohol is something that's not really going to be serving me this year. So I'm happy to strip back a little bit of the party life to pursue more of what I want to get, right? Because I'd rather hike up a mountain than go on a night out. But I would go to a festival. You know what I mean? I will still go to a festival this year, but I won't necessarily want to go to a club. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of these things. So obviously with me having different now interests to some of my friends, which obviously because I've been in the party industry for like 10 years, you change, right? So now I'm kind of in a moment where I want to just meet new people, just to see kind of where we can resonate with, having an intellectual conversation. For me, the perfect night out, if to call it that, would be taking a van, parking up somewhere, lighting a campfire, and just talking and having like maybe a glass of wine, or a hot toddy, or a coffee, and just sharing experiences and life lessons and challenges and philosophies. That's really mine. Playing card games, playing games, going on hikes. That's kind of really what's resonating more with me this year. then I would like to start my Miss Kiff Show traveling podcast. So this is like the show I want to produce. But again, this all comes down to monetary investment, and I haven't really decided what my podcast is yet. So I feel like this will grow with what the my YouTube channel will grow. So I'll figure it out. I feel like I should take the first 3 months of growing the channel and really finding the niche, finding myself within my channel, which I have started to find, and producing the content consistently to then kind of develop from there. Where do I go from there? But it can be like towards the end of 2022, because I would love to. One of my biggest things I've always loved behind the scenes with people. I've loved people's experiences, what inspirations can they give back to people, or like producing behind the scenes, traveling to people, sitting in their studios, like having that conversation. I've always been that girl. I've always been intrigued by people. So it'd be great to develop that as a show. Then I would like to appear on a TED Talk. That's a goal, because I want to be like, I love inspiring people. So that's just what I would love to do. And I would like to receive my first sponsorship on this channel. I don't know when it will come, but it will come. I would like to hike 60 kilometers over 3 days, which now looking at it, that's a lot. Okay, especially because I did 18 kilometers, but it was raining, so it's different. I feel like I can do it. I would like to reach the highest peak of maybe 2,500 meters, and I would like to get a dog, a Staffy or Pug Lair. And that's really it for manifesting for 2022. Most of it is really stepping into my power now. Okay, and I'm recording this video because I'd like to I would like to look in a year's time, like, what did I achieve this year? And it's also just to give you a little bit of the inside of me. I'm very ambitious, and one thing that will be a dream come true is being able to work and play at the same time. In terms of, my work is my work, nothing interferes, and my play is my play. And it's like taking my career to that next level where I want to work for a company, but I also want to learn more about the skills that I'm doing already, or like hyper focus on the skills that I already do already. That makes me happy. Like, for instance, teaching yoga, I can host retreats. I don't necessarily have to do that every weekend. Producing music, it's a seasonal thing for me. Like, it's not something that you produce all the time, because you'll produce something and you'll play it out. So it's like having that kind of, that ebb and flow with music, but also not having too much pressure on it that it takes away the fun of it. That's why having Narashanti online makes it so amazing, that I can just have a schedule that works for me. Again, with the YouTube channel, I have a schedule that works for me. So I can always co-create and do things whilst I have a full-time job. And the full-time job really is to instill structure in my life, and to also push myself in different environments and learn from people. I just want to learn from people, because I loved when I did work full-time, like, to a part where I really, really loved it and was exciting, was 2012 to 2014. I really loved that thrill of learning. I love learning. So anyway, I just want to be authentic to me this year. And I really just want to be as happy as I can be, and stepping away from self-sabotaging Tasha and stepping more into personal power Tasha is where it's at. So that concludes my video, and I hope you've liked it. I'm sorry if it's rambled on for so long, but there you go. I would wish you all the best for 2022, and yeah, keep thriving. Remember, we stepped into this year, and the way you step into it is all about you. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.